Good routing is the difference between you succeeding and you failing a run in Nightreign. Take a look at this map. Just imagine this is a fresh new run and you're level 1. Where would you hit up first? Here, look, I'll give you a 5-second timer. If your answer was something along the lines of clearing the first camp to get to level 2 before branching out to do an Everjail, this is one of the better answers and something I would personally do. That was an exercise to get your brain going, but I would take this path because of this one relic. By far the best relic in the game due to its damage amping skills, clearing an Everjail, especially if it's near the edge of the map, is something you want to prioritize first. And you want to do the ones that's at the edge of the map, being that you probably won't hit those places up later on in your playthrough. And before I continue, this video will not give you an answer for every variation of the circle, every granular detail of what to do every second of the game. I can't do that for you. No one can do that for you. Not me, not Yui, not Rage Gaming Slop, not Fextra Slop. No one will be able to give you a second-by-second decision-making guide. Because at that point, show me your girlfriend or wife and ask me the same question on how to have sex with her. I'll give you a second-by-second visual aid on how to do it with her. Are you understanding where I'm going with this? You gotta think for yourself. I'm giving you the tools to craft your own game plan. So back to the topic at hand. This means going to Marika churches in the early game is a waste of time. Not because it's a bad idea, but because of the potential levels and runes you're missing out on. So in my opinion, the best path you want to take is just clear as many Everjails as you can. And that means sometimes foregoing places like the castle in the middle of the map or even a shifting earth, because the percentage increase you'll get to your damage will surpass, in my opinion, most, if not every weapon drop you could potentially get from clearing the bosses. And for the few people who still think I might be lying or over exaggerating, try and argue to me why receiving a 35% increase to your damage is worse than you getting a legendary weapon. Please let me know. So I'm going to assume at this point, most people are playing with the jail relic on, meaning that you need to activate these jails as fast as possible for your 5% damage increase when you clear them. And yes, this applies for all sources of damage. You will be getting a 5% buff each time you clear a jail. You'll want to go to them early because the earlier you summon the boss, the less maximum health they're going to have. So completing it at level 2 with a team is much easier than doing it at level 10 on day 2 with the circle all the way up your ass. Before you say, oh, well, Wisdom, this guide is meant for people with coordinated teams. I come home from work and all my day ones are busy with their children, and there are ways, albeit some, ways to communicate with randoms. So for example, a strategy I like to do is spam pinging. This lets your teammate know they should really check out what the hell you're spamming, since it makes a noise in their game as well as a visual cue on the map. Pinging where you want to go on the map, as well as spamming it since randoms are playing with half of their prefrontal cortex, can make organizing fights just a bit easier. This, combined with checking your map often to see where your teammates are going, will be great ways to keep up with the team even if they aren't necessarily following your directions. So assuming your team is following you, this is what I like to do for the first jail once I hit level 2. I categorize the potential boss spawns, and I've categorized the potential boss spawns in this manner. Tier 1, 2, 3, and 4 bosses. Following list you're about to see keeps in mind the average skill level of a player. So, for example, everyone on tier 1 and tier 2 should be able to be killed by a single player with little to no trouble at level 2. Tier 1s include Crystallians, Gladiator, the Omen, and Bloodhound Knight. The reason why they're at tier 1 is that these guys stagger easily, can be backstab farmed, or both. Not to mention that all of them, except the Crystallians, can be statused. These can be completed on your own with little to no effort in my opinion. Tier 2 is a bit harder, but it can still be completed on your own. But this is now entering the territory of multiple enemies, so if you don't feel comfortable with that, try doing these with at least one other person. These bosses are Banished Knights, Crucible Knight, Stone Skin Duo, Noxtella Duo, and the Godskin Apostle. Everything from tier 1 applies to these enemies as well, so it's still manageable to kill these guys in your first jail. Past tier 2 though, this is going to require multiple people or should be avoided altogether and should be fought after reaching around level 5. Tier 3 includes Dragonkin, Faramazula Group, and the Beastly Brigade. Watch out for the abhorrent, wretched multi-fights that come with the Faramazula and the Beastly Bitches, because they are so annoying to fight and they can definitely kill you very easily if you're not prepared, especially being at levels 2 to 3. Because all of them have to be killed, do this with a group, because even though you can do it on your own, it would take a significant chunk of your time unless your Yui himself or just walking next to them makes them die. And yes, if you were wondering, Dragonkin has the same problem. You won't be doing enough damage to kill him in a reasonable time frame, whereas for him, he can pretty much one-shot you. Not to mention, he doesn't get status proc as far as I know. So seeing the Dragonkin, me personally, I would avoid him entirely and come back later if that's your first jail. Whereas the group fights, if possible, try to have everyone on your team there at once to help you out. Now here comes the tier 4s. Tier 4s should be avoided at all costs if this is your first jail that you're opening up, until you level up to at least level 5 to 6 if you would call yourself nice at the game, or 7 to 8 for the average player, with every teammate present at the bare minimum. If you don't have everyone, I'd recommend levels 9 to 10 if you're playing solo. These are Nightreign Bird, Ancient Dragon, and Godskin Duo, which is also known as the oldest ever jails. These should be completed with teams at all times and should be at least level 7. I can't stress enough how fast you need to book it if you summon one of these bosses on your first jail. But be happy that at least you summon one of the hardest bosses for your first jail. And this is helpful because they are going to be at half of their maximum health, so they will just be easier and quicker to kill compared to if you were to summon them later on. Every jail that's not completed by the end of day 2 will be completely inaccessible, even the ones you already activated. The bosses will despawn and there will be no way to clear the jail. So with this out the way, your first jail will dictate your pathing for the rest of the game. Generally speaking, you want to do at least 4 jails, or 2 per day if you're playing solo by yourself, and 6 or more if you're playing in teams, because this will net you 20% extra damage from all damage sources in solos and 30% or more in teams. And this is going to be a difference that you will definitely feel as you continue to fight the enemies. So as for the rest of the pathing, I'm going to switch over to live commentary so you can hear my thought process. But I have to speak on the types of jails that can spawn, especially the ones that you need to do if it's your first jail. But besides this, if it's something that's important, I'll pause the video so I can break down a play that I'm making. If this helps you at all, use the group password WISDOM with a capital W like me and hundreds of other people are using already to get a free 1000 murk at the round table when people clear runs using this group password. Subscribe so you can see new peek and not slop like some people like to make. Join the Discord in the description for help with clearing the new bosses. I'm just gonna route this so I can kill the jellyfish, see if I can get the jellyfish shield, because that's a free power amp if we do find it. It's like I was only doing it because I was walking towards you.
Hello?
Okay, can't do that. Oh, I missed me bomba. Me bomba! My RKR ran out. This is crazy. He does resist fire. I can get as much damage as possible right here. So I have both things buffed. 581 on a jumping attack, really good. Always have Royal Knights Resolve on this. Oh, that was a true combo. This is an attack window. Buff again. Probably should have bought a Starlight Shard. I see that I have ult, but I'm gonna wait until he does something that can interrupt. Nice, we got this. So we're gonna Royal Knights Resolve on that to get as much damage as possible. Yes. Plus we got to pop that too, which is pretty good. I thought I'd be able to interrupt it. Why am I here? Okay. He's spawning on me. That was close. We greeted and we didn't really get punished for that, which is good. And more importantly, we got to hold on, let me see if I can hit him in the mouth. Miss. Just because it's my last World Master Resolve, that's why I did that. Yeah, so I did greed that because I want, like, it's like, one, I know I have multiple reses, and two, I just wanted to get the most out of my last World Master Resolve. Unfortunately, I did not dodge that. I'm gonna bleed twice here. I actually might die. He does heal in his attack, which isn't fun. Get me out of there. Whoa, that wasn't even next to me. What? Oh, I'm sorry, Marlo. Rolled a little late there. Or, I mean, I was a little early, I meant. That's okay. Conserve stamina. Yeah, one jumping attack for poison damage. Stay next to him. We could probably interrupt this. We missed it because we did greed that, but it's okay. I got stopped by something. What the hell did I get stopped by, bro? I was grappling and I got hit by something. Holy cheese. Alright, well, we got one more life, bros. I'm also not trying to pretend like I'm some god. I use revives because this game is fucking difficult. And playing to your revives is definitely a strategy. If I have them, I'm gonna use them. I'm not gonna be like, oh, I play Deathless. You should aim to do that. I thought I rolled late. I'm so happy. Hi. Hey, we took no damage from that. Holy. Oh man, of course, when we use the grappling to do the follow-up, he uses this thing. Nice, isn't tackling her right here. Be nice and calm. Last heal and last hit. That was a bar. That was fortunately a bar.